Good morning, class. The fourth lesson for geometry. We have two problems on the board. Here to find K and M. Here to find X and Y. Okay, look at K here, look at M here. When you want to find the values of certain angles in a diagram involving, let me say a diagram in geometry, try to understand the relationship between any two angles. Now the questions are: one, is there any theorem relating K and M? Is there any theorem relating K and 125? Is there any theorem relating 125 and M? These are the common questions. Once you can answer them, then you'll be able to solve the problem. All right. Now let us think of K and 125 because they are closer. Yes. Now we have here a straight line. And here is another straight line. A straight line, look at it, another straight line. Here we have 125, here we have K. Okay, there is a theorem that says when two straight lines intersect, the angles opposite to each other are called the vertical angles or vertically opposite angles. Whenever two straight lines cross each other, the angles opposite to each other are called vertical angles or vertical opposite angles. Even this one, this is also vertical opposite to this. So the theorem says vertically opposite angles are equal. So whatsoever that is here is equal to this. This is equal to this. So now what do we say? We can simply say K is equal to 125. Geometry, you only need to be able to recognize the appearance of the angles. You only need to understand the theorems. Once you are able to do so, then the rest is easy. So K is 125. But saying K is 125 in geometry, it doesn't make much sense because why do we say K is equal to 125? That reason must be stated. The reason is they are vertically opposite angles. That is the reason. If you don't indicate the reason, well, according to geometry, you don't deserve the mark. Why? Because we also have alternate angles that are equal. So if you say this is equal to this, what is the reason? We need the reason. Okay. Now, we also want to find M. What is the relationship between M and K? What is the relationship between M and 125? Okay. In my first two videos, I emphasized that this line is parallel to this. You can see the arrow. When two parallel lines are crossed by a transversal line, two parallel lines crossed by a transversal line, every acute angle is equal to another acute angle, regardless of the position. I also emphasize that every obtuse angle is equal to another obtuse angle, regardless of the position, as long as a set of parallel lines are crossed by a transversal line. I also said the third point that every acute angle added to another added to obtuse angle will give us 180. Now I can say acute acute is equal to acute. Yes, obtuse is equal to obtuse. Then acute plus obtuse is equal to 180. If you know these three, you will always find it easier. So we don't have time to say, let this M becomes here. Once this M is here, then we'll bring it here before we work with it here. No. We don't have all that time. Or let this M comes here. Once this M comes here, we relate this and this. All that one is a waste of time. Just know this one. Any acute angle is equal to another acute angle in a set of parallel lines crossed by a transversal line. Every obtuse is equal to another obtuse. The sum of acute and any other obtuse is 180. So if only you are good at observing the types of angles, you realize that this one is acute because look at how it appears. Look at you see, this is 90. This is perpendicular to this. So this is less than 90. So this one is acute. Then again, this 125, you can see how it opens. It is obtuse. So for any acute added to any obtuse, they will always give us 180, no matter the situation. As long as a set of parallel lines crossed by a transversal line. So we say M plus 125 equal to 180 degrees. What is the reason? Acute angles and what? Obtuse angles. So we say M is equal to 180 degrees minus 125 degrees. So 180 minus 125, what do we get? We get 70. Oh, sorry. 180 minus 175, we get 55 degrees. So this is what we get. We have another one here. This one would have been like, we trace, this one is y, 40, 110, 2x, x, and no angle is missing. It would have been like, we sum everything equals to 360. But the thing is, there are two unknowns. We have x, we have y. So what do? Let us think of this straight line. We have a straight line here. And on this side, we have y and x, which are adjacent. Why y and x are adjacent? Because they have a common vertex. And also, they are on a straight line. So it would have been nicer, we say, x plus y equal to 180. But x plus y equals to 180 cannot yield anything meaningful because two of them are unknowns. Okay, so let us come to the other side of the straight line. Look at the same straight line. We have 2x, this vertex, 110, the same vertex, 40, the same vertex. I think we can use this side first to get this x. So we say 40 plus 110 plus 2x equals to 180 degrees. What is the reason? They are adjacent angles on a straight line. Okay, so what do we say? This is 2x equal to 180 degrees minus 40 minus 110. So 2x equal to 180 minus 40 is 40. Sorry, it's 140. 140 minus 110 is 30. So we divide both sides by 2. So our x is 15 degrees. So x is 15. Then we have to also find what? Y. Then we can consider this straight line now wherein x and y, they are adjacent angles on a straight line. So now we say x plus y is equal to 180. Why? Because they are also adjacent angles on a straight line. But x is already 15 degrees. So we say 15 for x, and this is y equals 180 degrees. So now y is equal to 180. We move this one minus 15 degrees. So 180 minus 15 is 165 degrees. So this is what we have for today's class, lesson 4. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to follow, like, share, and comment. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.